The other big talking point after the win last night, ending a 25-year drought for the Big Ten, is that the Big Ten now rules the world in this new era of college athletics. They have 3 different schools to win the college football, the men's basketball, and the women's basketball. So they win all 3 of those. They now have won 3 straight football championships. They win a basketball now, and really rare air of just the ability to be both football and basketball national champions at the same time. It does feel like, since we flipped to the NIL, that the Big Ten has an advantage.
It feels that way for a reason.
I don't think you can deny it. The interesting thing is we always thought the SEC and the Big Ten were really close, but the Big Ten had no national championships, not only in basketball, but not in football.
That's right.
For a long time. And so that was the obvious flex from the SEC, but now you can't really deny it.
I mean, it's the numbers are what they are, and it has been very, Michigan, Ohio State, Indiana in football, now Michigan for the first time, as you said, since Michigan State won in 2000. And the one before that, if I'm not mistaken, did I miss one? It was Indiana back in 87. Was that the one before Michigan?
Yeah, I think that's right.
No, wait a minute.
Michigan State.
Michigan State was in 2000. Michigan was in the 80s, and then Indiana. So it's not like they were stacking them before Michigan State won them either. I mean, they weren't getting a ton of them then either. But, I mean, it's undeniable now that for whatever reason in the NIL world, the Big Ten has owned it.
Kevin Skarbinski last night on Twitter, and others, but Kevin is where I got it from. Indiana football, Michigan and men's basketball. The Big Ten joins the SEC and the ACC as the only conferences to win undisputed national titles in both sports in the same academic year since the NCAA tournament expanded to 64 teams in 1985. The SEC did it in 06 and 07 with Florida in both sports. Impressive. And in 11 and 12 with Alabama in football and Kentucky in basketball. The ACC did it in 16 and 17 with Clemson in football and North Carolina in basketball, and in 18 and 19 with Clemson in football and Virginia in basketball. So now the Big Ten has finally rung that bell that the SEC and the ACC has done twice since 1985 to hold the 2 big sports national championships at the same time.
This used to feel like, though, this was reserved for the SEC to do it. Like, ACC might win a basketball one with Duke or North Carolina, a random football one with Clemson. The Big Ten might stumble into a football one, maybe stumble into a basketball one, but it felt like the SEC was the only conference that could do what the Big Ten is doing right now.
Now, we got a problem if Big Ten starts doing this in baseball.
I would like to think we could still hold that one, we being the South.
Considering it's still snowing up there.
UCLA is the number 1 ranked team in the country.
I forget their Big Ten. Brooks is right.
Yeah, different format. By the way, UCLA was the Big Ten's first women's title since 1999. Now Michigan's won it since 2000. And, of course, they've won 3 straight in football. So pretty impressive run there from the Big Ten. And there, it just means more. It's the long-standing SEC, right?
Correct.
It just means more. I saw last night the Big Ten folks were joking. A lot of play. The Big Ten, it just wins more is their catchphrase right now.
When you get the crowns, you get to make the jokes. And
victory laps. What do you do? What do you do if you're the SEC? Is there anything you can do? Because the conference did make it was a conference-wide initiative to schedule better in basketball, to pull SEC basketball out of the doldrums. I mean, this was, Mike Slive and Greg Sankey's biggest accomplishment, getting so many teams in the tournament last year and then again this year. And to have them so many in last year and to have 2 Final Four teams in Auburn and Florida to win it. So what do you do now when money's involved?
I think it is somewhat coincidental. I do think that obviously they've got more resources, but look, there's a commitment in the SEC. You've got great coaches, resources. You've got everything you need to win. But, when you start looking next year in college football, how many teams in the SEC really can win a national championship?
Oh, let's save that for the next segment where we're going to do.
Which is crazy because, on a given year, you would say 5 or 6 maybe. Last year, the SEC, arguably, numbers-wise, had their best year ever in college basketball. But the Big Ten is the one that
had 5 football playoff teams this year. Am I right about that?
Yeah, you were correct about that.
So, I still think it's just they're winning the championships, which the SEC was doing before. Just think it's kind of a swing right now. But, if Texas ended up winning the national championship this year in football And then in basketball, and next year, Arkansas won the national championship. Nobody'd be surprised.
No, you'd feel like it's back.
Yeah.
It's back, baby.
In fact, we declare our depth. Look at our depth. We've got Arkansas winning again.
So in the next segment, LT brings this to the table today. The 10 best college football and men's basketball programs over the next 5 years. So it's a 5-year window. Who will have the best men's basketball and college football programs combined over the next 10 years? I'm going to do mine first because I think it'll be the most controversial.
Oh, I don't know. This is quite difficult, honestly.
Can't wait to see how high you got LSU.
Number 5 combo. Number 5 combo. And I got them in there, LT. Do you have them in yours, LSU?
In my top 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
I just wouldn't be surprised. You got them number 1.
I don't have them number 1. 5 years. Best combination football and basketball. Here's my top 10. Purple or SEC teams, blue or Big Ten teams, black or other conferences.
Thanks for pointing it out.
Here's my top 10 right here. Florida is number 1 for me. I don't think Golden's going anywhere, and I believe in Summerall and the money they spend on basketball there. Michigan is 2. Texas, there's LSU at 4. I'm going to stick with Alabama and ride as long as Nate Oates is there at 5. Texas Tech is 6. USC 7, Oregon 8, BYU 9, Louisville 10. And I say this now to tell you there may not be a national champion in either sport on this. But the way I attacked it was best combination teams each year. Like, Alabama, top 15 in both. Florida, top 15 in both. Michigan, top 15 in both. So that's the way I attacked it. None of these may win a national championship. It may be Ohio State in football, maybe Notre Dame in football, maybe it's Gonzaga or UConn in basketball. But the next 5 years, I think these are the most consistent 10 programs in both football and basketball. That's my list. I like this list.
All right.
I like it a lot.
All right.
You left. I don't want to say obvious.
Who would you say, though? If you were going to call one obvious that he left off, who would you say it is?
I mean, I think Texas A&M.
Okay. We'll see if they're on my list.
All due respect to Bucky and Mike Elko.
I mean, I think Elko's a better coach than Lane Kiffin, and I think Bucky's really close with Will Wade. I mean, we don't know for sure, but with their money is the only reason I would throw it in there too.
Yeah. You want me to go?
Sure.
Maybe prisoner of the moment, but I am going to have Michigan number 1. I'm going to have Alabama number 2. Now, let me quickly, before everybody starts.
Well, I mean, I just follow, the reaction on social media. I knew you'd have Alabama that high.
That's right.
With no Auburn on there.
With no Auburn because I hate the NIT. I think either Kalen DeBoer is going to consistently be in the playoffs or they're going to find someone else who is. And I have faith in Nate Oates consistently being a Sweet 16, Elite 8, challenging the Final Four type coach. I think that's who he's shown to be. I believe Sark will keep Texas there, and I believe in Sean Miller. Now, here's where at number 4, people are going to be like, Indiana. Let me explain Indiana real quick. Well, let me finish, and I want to come back to Indiana. Florida 5 for some of the same reasons you said. Ohio State 6 because they're so good in football. Texas Tech, they're spending. They're spending in both sports.
I do have Texas Tech.
I know.
I was just making sure.
Yeah, Texas A&M, I did put them in at number 8. BYU at 9. Georgia at 10. I did leave LSU out. I just want to see if they can sustain the spending they need in basketball with Will Wade. They are spending a lot of money right now, and can they sustain that? I want to go back to Indiana, and here's why I've got them at number 4. Because now they've won the football. They've been really good in football. They've won the football championship, and they're going to be good in football. At some point, the money people in Indiana are going to say, we actually love basketball. This football thing's fun. Why can't we do this in basketball? And they're going to realize we can win a championship way cheaper in basketball than it's costing us to do in football.
So what does that do in football, though? If you do that, then how does it impact football?
I don't think football will drop off that much. I just don't know that they're going to be what they were last year, right?
Well,
but it was still a playoff
Darian
team.
DeVries had them year 1, 18-14. I've got them on my list as well.
Oh, really? That's interesting. Okay.
Well, you've got the best coach in football right now. It's going to be hard to not have them on the list when you just factor that in.
I just think at some point they're going to say, we could do this a whole lot cheaper in basketball and win a championship. So at some point the money is going to realize we could still do this in basketball. We could still be a basketball school and be good in football.
Yeah, so I've got Tennessee. You guys didn't have Tennessee.
I did not.
Rick Barnes, I don't know when he's going to.
I don't know about that.
First one out was Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Heupel is doing a really good, solid job. He's got to get quarterback right. But until Rick Barnes retires, I've got Tennessee there. Oregon at number 9.
See, I thought I'd be the only one with them.
Dana Altman, it was just a strange year, but I think they'll bounce back next year. And I don't know how much longer he's going to be coaching, but they'll go out and they'll get a young stud.
That's right.
Yeah.
And maybe their next guy.
Again, DeVries didn't have good year one, but he was 18-14, and where Cignetti is. A&M, I believe in the Elko, Bucky McMillan combo. I do have LSU at number 6 because I do think Will Wade will get basketball back in the right direction and the commitment right now to football. I mean, if they don't win 10 games, my gosh.
Yeah. And by the way, one of the most underrated areas of high school basketball in the country is Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Number 5, Texas Tech. I mean, Grant McCaslin, Joey McGuire, even if you plugged in whoever else with the money they got for these rosters, I don't think it matters. The top 4 for me were really easy. I mean, whatever order you want to do it, but I think Texas, because I do believe in Sean Miller too. And,
me too.
Sark has got his best roster coming back right now. Alabama, that combination, I think Caleb DeBoer is going to be just fine, and Nate Oates is one of the best coaches in college basketball. The only reason I thought about Florida at 1, the only reason I had them at 2 is I want to see the transition. We love John Summerall, but I don't think you can put them at number 1 right now as good as Todd Golden is because we don't know how Summerall is going to do in the SEC. And then number 1, Michigan. I don't know how much longer Kyle Whittingham's going to do it, but I could see him do it for another 5 years, and I think that they will compete at a high level.
That's why I went Florida 1, is because Florida's already got their next coach for the next 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I still, to this day, believe Kyle Whittingham is a placeholder.
Yeah, you've said that, and it'll be interesting to see. I mean, his age does make you wonder that. I disagree with you. But
it would not shock me if Michigan has a different head coach next season. Like if he's just a one and done only because he's doing a solid for people he knows at Michigan. Wouldn't shock me if that was the case. That he really was on his way to retirement.
I would be shocked at that.
Okay.
Because I just don't think Michigan would have made that higher. I think Michigan could have taken some time after Sharon Moore and gotten somebody that would be there long term and not just a one-year placeholder.
Well, and you tell me, what do you think Whittingham's going to do this year? Just on the surface, if you're just guessing.
I don't buy their quarterback yet.
I'm with you on that. That does worry me.
I mean, a great recruit and big upside. Don't buy him yet. And I do think a culture change in running the football and the way they have done it with their roster. I picture them, let's see, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, Penn State. They're going to be battling for 4th, 5th, 6th place in the Big Ten.
Well, there's a reason I bring this up. I just don't think Kyle Whittingham is going to go from overachieving all those years in Salt Lake to taking one of the best jobs in college football, having an average season, and then tapping out after one season. I really think he'll give them 3 to 5 years, and I think Kyle Whittingham's a hell of a coach, and I believe in Underwood a lot more than you guys do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But you've got no USC. I've got USC.
Well, I mean, look, USC basketball
program
is garbage,
yeah.
And Lincoln's got to show me something a little more consistently. I think it is going in the right direction, but I have no faith in basketball.
Tennessee was close for me. It was football that was keeping them out.
Actually, my issue was Rick Barnes' retirement. Like, if Rick retires over the next couple of weeks, it wouldn't stun me, and I just don't know. You don't know who the replacement's going to be.
I thought about Arizona State. I don't like Dillingham a lot, but he's done a good job there. And then you bring in Randy Bennett, who was really, really good at St. Mary's, and now he's got money to spend. So that's an interesting combo.
Yeah, Arizona seems like it was a better play. You don't have BYU at all.
Nope.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, you think about what they spent this year, and they couldn't get out of the first round.
And that's what scares me. Is like, okay, wait a minute. We spent $5 million on what was supposed to be the best player in America, and we don't even advance in the tournament. This is money not well spent. I mean,
last year they got dick kicked in Sweet 16. I mean, it wasn't even close.
By Alabama.
Yeah, it's hard to go back to the boosters that just gave you $5 million for the best player in America and be like, okay, I need $8 million this time, but I promise you we're going to make the Elite Eight with this guy.
And I like Kalani Sitake a lot, but I mean, are they ever going to get to a college football playoff? I don't know.
So let's see the conversation about the next 5 years.